everyone, I'm Stacy. Welcome to my web show. This is the very first episode, and in this show I'm going to show you all the things that I find at yard sales, flea markets, thrift stores, and estate sales, and show you how I sell them on eBay and what I get for them. I'm about a month into this adventure, the adventure we're going to call Stacy trying to buy stuff for cheap and sell it on eBay for lots of money. And I've had a lot of good success. I've had some good wins, some items that I know to pick up every time, and I've had some not so good wins. Like, for example, dropping something that's worth money on the ground and shattering it into a million pieces. That was not a high moment for me. The very first thing I sold was actually the third thing I bought, and I bought it at a yard sale at the end of the day. The guy was just trying to get rid of his stuff, and it was a Killian's Irish Red oval mirror. Looked like it came from a bar. It had some scuffing on the wood, but the mirror was in really good condition. It was a pretty good size. I didn't know anything about bar mirrors or beer. I don't really drink beer, so I didn't really know what it would be worth, but I asked the guy on a whim what he was asking for it, and when he said $2, I snapped that bad boy up because I figured it was worth more than $2. The second thing I sold was a lesson to me about eBay and PayPal fees. It was something that I had, I sold and bought on eBay before. It wasn't something completely new to me, but I wasn't really thinking things through with my pricing, and so I put up a Brutus doll. It was a really big Brutus doll, and I had free shipping on there. Yay! It was a lesson on free shipping as well, and somebody in Puerto Rico bought it. So I ended up losing money on that deal because the shipping to Puerto Rico is more than, say, the shipping to Michigan or Florida. So that was a loser, and that kind of sucked. But I learned some lessons. When you're factoring in the minimum price you want to take for an item, always, always, always include your eBay and PayPal fees in your mind, as well as what you paid for the item. And don't do free shipping unless it's a really expensive item and you're going to get a lot of money out of it. The very first thing we bought, and what got us on the road to selling stuff on eBay, was something that we picked up on a yard sale that we went to on a whim. We took my kids to the park, and on the way to the park we saw a yard sale sign, and my 9-year-old had never been to a yard sale, and he said, "Can we go, can we go, can we go?" And you know how 9-year-olds are. And so we said, sure, after the park we'll go by the yard sale, see if it's still open. And it was, so I went up there. My son went up there with me. He bought a couple of things. He spent a whole dollar. I gave him $1 to spend, and he spent a whole dollar at the yard sale and got like 3 things. And I saw these really interesting panes of glass that had music icons from the 80s, heavy metal icons. There was a Twisted Sister one, a Rat one, a Night Ranger one, and a Def Leppard one. And I thought that they were just really interesting, but I didn't want to buy them all. I just wanted to pick one up and just, on a whim. So I bought the Twisted Sister one, and I asked the woman how much she wanted, and she said 50 cents. And yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm like, oh, it's worth more than 50 cents. Here, I'll give you $1 for it. I've learned how to bargain since then. That was a very, very poor show of bargaining on my part. So I took it to the car, and I showed my husband the Twisted Sister thing, and he's like, hey, you know what those are? I had a lot of those when I was a kid. They're carnival mirrors. You won them as prizes at the fair, with carnival games. And they all had all kinds of bands, and I'm like, yeah, they have 3 more up there. And I'm like, do you think they're worth anything? And he's like, probably. They're from the 80s, and they're kind of cool. And I'm like, you're right. So I went back up, and I bought the other 3 for $2. So I got all 4 of them for $3. And they did sell on eBay finally. It took a little doing with manipulating the price, but I managed to sell all 4. 3 of them went to one guy, and the Def Leppard one was apparently the most valuable one, and that went to someone else. And so that was my very first item that I bought, and it has actually sold. The next item I'm going to show you and talk about a little bit is something that I was actually kind of surprised the scenario happened. So, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest Pirates Dice. If you ever see this game, pick it up. Try and get it for as cheap as you can because you're not going to get a ton of money, but they will sell every time. So, I've actually sold 2 copies of that game already. Lucky me, I've been able to find it twice. So, the first one that I sold, I put, I think, $3 as my minimum bidding price. I was a noob. But I had to buy it now on there, $25. And it was kind of my pie in the sky price. Like, nobody's ever going to pay that because you can get it cheaper elsewhere. But, I'll put it on there anyway because, boy, it sure would be nice if somebody paid $25 for it. I paid $2.50 for the game. Like I said, my starting price was a pretty stupid thing, and I kind of got lucky on that one that they didn't just say $3. So the guy actually bought it now. He actually paid my $25 price, and that was a really good profit on that. And so I know that they sell, and so when I saw the second one, I snapped that one right back up. I got that one for $1. I did the same thing, only I put a much higher starting bid out. I put $7.99 with a buy now of $25, and the second time it went for $7.99. But the lesson is those sell even at $7.99. So and that sometimes the other lesson is sometimes people will pay your ridiculous buy it now price. So don't be afraid to put a buy it now price on there of something that you sure would like to get it. And the worst thing that can happen is nobody will buy it now. Nobody will bid either, and then that's the worst thing that can happen. So put your minimum price as the number you'd be happy with, where you get some profit out of it after all your fees and everything, and put your buy it now price as like your pie in the sky, hopes and dreams price. Not too ridiculous, but because 25 wasn't a crazy price, but it was still I still can't believe I got it. So the last item I'm going to talk about is an item that I actually got for free, and I picked it up along with some other items. We were at this yard sale, and this guy had some posters, and they had this poster. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Now, I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. Anything Johnny Depp is always going to I'm going to notice it. So I asked the guy how much he wanted on the poster, and he told me it was $2 each for these posters. Now they're custom framed, really nice, and so I picked up all 6 of them. He had this one here, Batman Begins, which we haven't been able to sell yet, but it's an IMAX poster. It's really cool. Same thing with the Charlie and Chocolate, although I haven't listed that one yet for obvious reasons. So those 2. And then they also had these, and this is Alter Bridge. I'd never heard of them before, but apparently there's 3 members of Creed in this band, and it's autographed by them. This Bandidema I've never heard of, and that's not worth much, but it's autographed. I kind of heard of Queens of the Stone Age. It's autographed again, but I didn't really know much about them. I didn't think that they were worth much, and a couple of them really aren't worth anything. But the Alter Bridge, hopefully we'll be able to sell for a decent amount of money. But that's not the story. The story is, and there was one other that we've already sold. We sold it for $5. It wasn't much. But the story is that the guy comes out after I buy all 6 of these, and I bought them for $10, so I actually got them for less than $2 each. And he says, I have one more. If you want to take it with you, the glass is broken on it, the poster's damaged, but you can have it for free. And I'm like, free? Sure, why not? So we took it home with us, and we looked it up, and we'd never heard of the band. It was called Damage Plan was the band. We'd never heard of it. Not really familiar with a lot of the heavy metal bands, although I had heard of Pantera. But Damage Plan was a band formed by 2 members of Pantera, Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. And Dimebag Darrell died several years ago, so he's no longer signing things. And the poster, unlike the movie posters, was signed by Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. So we listed it on there. And we ended up getting $75 with free shipping. So, like, it was free, and we sold it $75 with shipping. So that was a kind of a huge win. I don't even know how you calculate your percentage profit when an item is free. So I guess, you know, it paid for the amount of money we paid for these other posters that we actually bought from the guy. So that was a pretty cool item, and now I know who Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul are. So that's about it for this episode. I'm going to leave you with a few more things that we've bought and sold so you can see what else we've done. Be sure to check out our eBay auctions at Kraus House of Cards and Games on eBay. You can also visit our website, www.kraushouseofcards.com, and that we have a lot of items up for sale on the website that we don't have listed on eBay. So go ahead and check that out. And other than that, I will call it a day, and the next episode I will tell you a lot more about other items. Thanks. Bye.